They don't teach you that before John Brown. Before the Civil War, one enslaved preacher brought the entire South to its knees, and they tortured his wife trying to find him. August 21st, 1831. Southampton County, Virginia. A solar eclipse had darkened the sun 3 months earlier. Nat Turner saw it as a sign from God, a black hand reaching over the sun. The time had come. Nat Turner was born enslaved on October 2nd, 1800. According to historical records, as a child he described events that happened before he was born. People called him a prophet. He taught himself to read, memorized scripture, fasted and prayed. The enslaved people around him called him the prophet. He believed God had chosen him for something extraordinary. In February 1831, Turner approached 4 men he trusted: Henry, Hark, Nelson, and Sam. He told them what they already knew in their souls. Freedom would never be given. It had to be taken. They planned the revolt for July 4th, Independence Day, a deliberate mockery of all men are created equal. But Turner fell ill. The rebellion was delayed. Then, on August 13th, 1831, the sun turned bluish-green, likely from volcanic ash from an eruption off Sicily's coast. Turner saw another sign. 8 days later, they moved. Starting at 11 p.m. on August 21st, Turner and his followers entered the home of Joseph Travis, Turner's enslaver. According to court records and contemporary accounts compiled in the Confessions of Nat Turner, they moved from plantation to plantation throughout Southampton County. Their strategy was brutal and calculated: create terror so complete that enslaved people across Virginia would rise up and join them. By the end of August 22nd, approximately 60 rebels had killed 55 white men, women, and children. Historical documentation confirms this was the deadliest slave revolt in United States history for the white population. But here's what they don't tell you in textbooks. The rebellion lasted less than 48 hours before organized white militia crushed it. 3,000 soldiers, militia members, and vigilantes descended on Southampton County. And their response? According to newspaper editors who witnessed it, the white retaliation was hardly inferior in barbarity to the atrocities of the rebels. Between 100 and 120 black people were killed in retaliation. Many had nothing to do with the rebellion. No trials, no evidence, just execution. Historical accounts document that whites used torture on enslaved people who had actually helped protect white families. One man named Hubbard saved his mistress from the rebels. They were about to execute him anyway, until she appeared to confirm his story. Turner escaped. For 6 weeks he hid in a depression under a fallen tree covered with fence rails. Enslaved people from nearby plantations brought him food. He stayed in hiding, only leaving in the dead of night for water. Then for 2 weeks, he eavesdropped on the neighborhood at night, gathering intelligence, returning before dawn. Then 2 weeks pursued almost incessantly. Meanwhile, according to Richmond constitutional Whig records from September 26, 1831, authorities tortured Turner's wife Cherry under the lash, forcing her to give up papers about the rebellion. She never betrayed him. On October 30th, a farmer named Benjamin Phipps discovered Turner's hiding place. He was captured, tried on November 5th, and executed by hanging on November 11, 1831. But the brutality didn't end there. Historical sources confirm his body was dissected, flayed, and his skin used to make souvenir purses. His head was reportedly severed to deter future rebellions. Yet here's what terrified the South most: Nat Turner destroyed their most comfortable lie. According to historical analysis, white Southerners had convinced themselves that enslaved people were either content with slavery or too docile to fight back. Turner proved that was propaganda. One newspaper recorded that in Southampton County, black people began measuring time itself as before Nat's fray and after old Nat's war. The rebellion had immediate consequences. Virginia's legislature actually debated ending slavery. Thomas Jefferson's grandson, introduced a gradual emancipation bill. It failed by a narrow margin. It was the last time Virginia would consider ending slavery until after the Civil War. Instead, the South passed even harsher laws. Enslaved people couldn't gather in groups, couldn't travel, couldn't learn to read or write, couldn't preach. The crackdown was absolute. But Turner had proven something that could never be unproven. Enslaved people would fight, would die fighting, would choose death over bondage. 30 years later, the Civil War began. And when it did, 4 million enslaved people knew what Nat Turner had shown them in 1831. Freedom was worth dying for. So here's the uncomfortable question. Why do we learn about John Brown, a white man who led a failed rebellion in 1859, but not Nat Turner, whose rebellion succeeded in spreading more terror through the South than any before or after? Share your thoughts below. If this is the first time you're hearing Nat Turner's full story, that's exactly the problem. Follow for the history they buried.